ya.
Halo Rizky.
Gangguan kreatif.
Ini udah berekord loh.
Iya. Iya. Ya nanti aku cut aja lah.
Oke.
Oh, Mas Andre ya.
Andrea belum join ya?
Kita kan nunggu Andrea nih ya. Aku pause dulu ya recordingnya.
We have Kak Rizky Anugrah as the president of the webinar today, and also Kak Tribuna that will be the moderator. And today's topic is going to be what is malware. And without any further ado, I will give it to the Kak Rio itself.
Halo Senta. Thank you for your opening. And today, guys, I think we are going to talk about a very interesting topics like malware. You know, I think in the 21st century right now, our technology is very advanced, right? Everything in here, everything and in our society is controlled by the computer itself. Like everything is not just about in a company or in an institution, but also in every aspect on our life. It's like already controlled by a computer by artificial or etc. Like right now we are meeting right now, we are using our laptop, right? So it means that our technology is very advanced, and malware is something that is very dangerous for our devices right now, right? So I think, guys, for all of you guys in here, you should know about what is malware exactly, and how to deal and how to solve the problem of malware itself. And Rizky today will give an explanation about what is malware exactly and how to fix it. Yeah, Rizky?
Yep. Okay. Okay. Thanks Rio for the moderating and Sinta for hosting this, delivering the host for this meeting. So, hello guys. Today we're going to discuss about what malware is and just how about things about them. So first, let's start from the extract. We live in the, as Rio said before, we live in 21st century. This is we can say that we are the Gen Z right now, Gen Z. So what we do now is just everything. Everything we do is now related to computer stuff and internet. Uh, and by this computer, we can say that we are going to face this some kind of problem. We will have so many problems that it's not just that's not just we encounter in the real life, but also we encounter problem in the internet itself, ladies and gentlemen. But what are these problems? What are these problems that are not just in real life, but these problems in the problem in the internet itself? So we are going to talk about the malware here. There are so many problems in the internet, but one of them are malware, because you know there are so many problems in the internet, like scamming or malwaring or virusing, etc. But yeah, what we are going to discuss here is malware. Okay, so first, what we are going to discuss today is what's malware, kind of malware, history of malware, and how to handle them. Okay, so first, I'll start from the definition of malware, or should I say what malware is. Okay, so malware is first it it has um it has an acronym, stands for malicious software, and we know what malicious is, right? Malicious is something that's made to do some certain activities so the creator, the author can get some benefits from it. Like malware is made so the author can get some kind of benefits from the target. For the example, spyware. Spyware are made from the author so it can spy, so it can see any activities, it can diagnose any activities that is the target's doing. And yeah, as it stands for, it's malicious software, it's dangerous. And it's usually in the software, you can usually see it when you are a Windows user, you can see it by it usually stands on .exe and etc. And the next, it's made to mimic or steal certain data or information from the target. As I said before, malware stands for malicious software, and malicious means it is made to do or to damage certain, to steal certain data or information from the target. Why is the author of the malware making this? Because this is I can say this is illegal, and they do it because they want to obtain, they want to receive something from the target itself. For the example, I want to steal your bank account. I want to know the information of your bank account, so that's why I put malware in your laptop, in your phone, so I can know the passcode and the pin from your an ATM. And so, if we say, is this crime or not? Of course, yes, it is. It is a crime. And there are also the law about it. It's the UITE about how it relates about hate speech and scamming in the internet, etc. And the next, not everyone can produce malware. What I mean, not everyone is just only professional who can do that. Maybe you can do this, but you will have to learn. You will have to learn about how to do this, how to produce this, how to make that, etc. So if you think about if you think about how does virus can find their own way so they reach your computer, it's simple. Like when a professional makes some kind of virus or malware and then they share it to the social media, to the internet, and then people share it as well, it's just like mouth to mouth, ear to ear, and then it reaches you. Like, yeah, so it's not always directly from the author to you, but it's like from the author to the other person to the other person, and then it reaches you. So be careful of what you download in internet, okay? And the next, the good things, the good news, the malware can be cleaned by antivirus, but 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 not this. Not every antivirus can clean this. I mean, do not use fake antivirus. Just do not use rogue antivirus. Use the trusted antivirus. Like, let me give an example. Like, we have AVG, Avast, or Kaspersky, Malwarebytes. There are the examples of the good antivirus, as I know, as people know, and they are trusted. They have their own name. And also, if you want additional protection, that like the antivirus that gives you better protection, you can use some kind of uh, paid antivirus, which is it gives you more protection. Like, it gives you network protection. It gives you like, yeah, additional protection, like, and some another features that that doesn't exist in the free antivirus. And so the next, malware can manipulate your data. So it means it can change your type of file, it can change your file, it can change your Windows administration system, etc. But how do we prevent that? How do we prevent this malware from changing our Windows system? You should be careful on everything you do in your computer. Do not allow everything to run in administrator, because when you allow everything on administrator, it can be dangerous for you. Okay, so we are going into the kind of malware. There are so many kind of malware in this world. I will tell you some. First, it is virus. It is the most basic kind of malware in this world. And what can virus do? It can do, even though it's just a virus, it can do many things like manipulating your data, making a diagnosis or spying your computer, or maybe making a damage to the hardware. It's the worst case. But you see, people nowadays who are negligent in their interneting, in their surfing, they always, oh, what's this? Oh, I just want to download my file, and I don't care even though the virus. Even though if there is a virus, I can just scan it with my antivirus and it's done. No, maybe it's just simple as that, but you never know when that virus attacks, because when sometimes you just forgot to scan antivirus, right? Sometimes you just you just play game and forgot when to scan antivirus, when to scan your health of your computer. So that's why it's the first type of the malware. It's virus. We can say it's the easiest one. And the next, worms. What's this worms? What is this worms thing? It looks like a bug name. Yes, worms as the same worms, we can say, has the same type of virus. It infects your computer. It can manipulate your data. But here's the difference. Worms is not as dangerous as virus, but it usually what is it called? Multiply itself. It usually multiplies itself, so you can, so you should suddenly, all of a sudden, you feel like, oh, why is my storage is suddenly red? I never installed anything on this. It can be a worm. So it gives you damage. It damages your hardware. It's reducing the usage of your hard disk, and which is it's bad for us. And the next we have spyware. As what its name, it's spyware. It's a spy. It spies any activities you do in your laptop, in your computer, in your device. Why is it made? Viruses are made by humans. So and humans have many things they want to do. And in this spyware, usually it's made to spy someone else or something else. Like for the example, as I said before, I want to spy you. I want to know your bank account, your PIN, your password. So that's why I put spyware to your computer. How do I do that? There are so many things to put the malware in your laptop. Like as I said before, by doing download or doing transferring file, etc. and etc. And the next we have Trojan. Let me tell you a little bit of the story about the Trojan horse. A long time ago, there was some Greek. There are some Greek has lost their war, and then they give something to their enemy. It's called Trojan horse. So it's a statue of a horse. It's called Trojan. So, and then the Troy city just accepted. The Troy city just accepted without knowing what's inside of that house. But you know what's inside of that statue? What's inside of that house? It's the soldier. It's the army. When the Troy city is at their, I mean, it's when they are not aware of things. The army and the soldier, the army in the Trojan horse, in the Trojan status, start to attack the city, or we could say it's a dawn attack. So this Trojan virus usually comes in something that you don't expect, as the history. Usually it comes in file that seems to be legit, but it's actually not. Usually it has a name legit, and then and some antivirus that is not that are not updated yet. Some antivirus that doesn't have any knowledge about this Trojan virus. Usually they just let this virus go, and until you let this virus to work on your until you let this Trojan virus to your system, and then all of a sudden you didn't realize that you have virus on your laptop. So that's why you should be careful of what you're downloading. Okay. And then last we have this ransomware. uh, in my opinion, this ransomware is the most dangerous one amongst all of them, because this ransomware locks your file, it locks your precious files. And how to unlock them? Usually, there are so many procedures that are made by the author itself, and the most of them are by paying the ransomware, paying the author by certain amount of money, so they will unlock the file. And usually, the author are men of words, and so when you pay them, they will unlock it for you. And if we're talking about the history of this ransomware, well, we know about recently, or we could say maybe 1 years ago. 1 years ago, there are attack of ransomware to the hospital in Indonesia. So many data of the patient and the hospital are being locked. And also, you cannot just when the ransomware locks the files, you cannot simply remove it by antivirus, because when it locks, then it locks it. It's encrypted. You cannot open it. You should figure it out. You should figure out the passcode is, or second, you can pay as the author said before, but figuring out the code will some kind of hard. So I'm not sure you will be able to do that. So the best thing to do is to be careful. So we go to the history of malware, about the first thing, the first it's found. So according to Scientific American, the idea of a computer virus extends back to 1949, when early computer scientist John von Neumann wrote the theory and organization of complicated automata, a paper that postulates how a computer program could reproduce itself. In the 1950s, employees at Bell Labs gave life to von Neumann's idea when they created a game called Core Wars. In the game, the programmers would unleash software organisms that competed for control of the computer. So we can say that this virus, these malwares are made because someone just wants to make a game. Someone wants to make a game, and then it becomes a virus, and so we know that nowadays it has become a threat to us, the computer users. Just imagine, someone just wants to make a game, just wants to make a competition, and then it becomes a world most dangerous threat. It's kind of funny, right? So the earliest documented viruses began to appear in the early 1970s. Historians often credit the creeper worm, an experimental self-replicating program written by Bob Thomas at BBN Technologies, with being the first virus. So we know that the first virus in this world is the creeper worm. So how's this virus? I mean, what's this virus characteristic? Well, Creeper gained access with the ARPANET and copied itself to remote systems where it displayed the message, "I'm the Creeper, catch me if you can." So the first virus in the world was just meant to be a troll. It's meant to make to display a message to to the target's computer like that. I'm the creeper, catch me if you can. So it's when the first virus was made, it's not so. It's just meant to be competitive. It's not meant to find any data, any kind of data or information. But the day by day, it's kind of developing. The virus are developing, and the humans feeling are growing. They make virus to do something, to get something else. So I can say that the human's willing is quite bad. And the next of we will find out on how to handle this virus. How do we handle this virus? There are so many things to do. Like first, you can scan your computer with antivirus when you realize there are some kind of virus in your computer or malware. You should start scanning your antivirus. And you want to know the recommendation of antivirus? Uh, when you are if you are using Windows 8 or 4th, like Windows 8.1 or Windows 10, I'm talking about Windows here. I don't know about Apple. So when you are using Windows 8 or newer, they have their own antivirus. It's a Windows Defender, and I would say that's a good antivirus, and it's free, unlike antivirus in the internet. If you want some free antivirus, you can use that. You can use Windows Defender, but note that you'll have to update this Windows Defender, because if you don't update this Windows Defender, I'm not sure it can scan the newest virus in this world, because the virus every day involves online, just like humans are. It involves every day. The next, we've got deleting the infected application. I know it sounds silly, but deleting the infected application, if you know them, I mean, if you know the suspect things, suspect apps, you can start deleting them, because because it's the best way. I mean, before you have anything damaged, you can start deleting them. But if they start to infect your computer, well, you can just rely on the antivirus, because deleting them will be a lot of job. The next, we have reinstalling your application. Your application that are infected by virus. That's what I mean. You can start reinstalling them, like uninstalling and then installing them back if you want, if you still want them. Like for the example, your browser is infected by adware. Your browser is infected by adware, and you didn't have the antivirus to scan it. So what you should do is reinstalling your browser and uninstalling first, and then installing again if you still want it, or you can just change to another browser if you want to. And then the next, we have reinstalling your operating system. It's we can say it's the last thing we have. It's the last thing we can do when virus infects our computer. When you don't have anything else, I mean, when the virus is just anywhere and your computer at safer condition, and the only thing to do is to reinstalling your operating system. Like you can, like for the example, if you are using Windows 7, you can uninstall the Windows and then reinstall it again. Or you can just upgrade on the Windows 8, because Windows 8 or Windows 10, they have Windows Defender, and with it makes your life easier to scan virus. Yeah, but here's the thing. If the virus attack the hardware as well, and if it attacks hardware, and which is you cannot do anything else. When it comes to hardware, what you should do next is buy another devices. Like you can just buy new computer when the virus starts to damage your device, because there are so many malwares that can attack your devices. Like it it interrupts your RAM to do anything. It interrupts your BIOS, so it cannot boot up. And also it attacks hardware until the hardware cannot function anymore. So yeah, the buy another device is the last thing for the hardware you can do. Because when it comes to hardware, as I said before, what you need to do is to buy another. Well, if you want to fix it, you should contact your provider. For example, if you're using a laptop, you can just give it to the service and then let them do the rest. So because as we are talking about handling, but now if we're talking about handling, it's quite hard because by handling, the chance of getting it fixed like it used to be is not 100%. Like, you don't always, it's just like something that you can do when it's necessary. So as people say, preventing is better than curing, uh, or we can say preventing is better than handling. So there are so many ways to handle this malware or virus. And first, making a scheduled scan. Making a scheduled scan by your antivirus, or we can say maintenance your laptop, your computer, so it keeps updated every time. Because if you don't make a scheduled scan, you never know when virus attacks you. You can just browse every time. You can just browse and then virus attacks you, and suddenly you never know. So that's why you can always make a scheduled scan with your antivirus. Like for the example, when you rarely use your computer, like maybe 4 a.m. or 2 p.m. when it comes to evening, when it's like afternoon to evening, that's when you rarely use your computer, right? So that's why you can make a scheduled scan at that hour, so it will be good for you. The next, we never open a suspicious website. But how do we know it's a suspicious website or not? Um, there are so many to determine it. You can start from using antivirus that protects network, because some of them gives like what's it called, allowed mark when you are going to open a site in Google. So it allows it, whether it allows you or not to open a website, because it's contaminated, because it's sus or not. It gives you a guide. The antivirus gives you a guide, so it can help you whether to open a website or not. And also you can know whether it's suspicious website or not by asking it from a form from in the internet. You can find something like that in Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, or Reddit. You can figure out whether it's a suspicious website or not by asking them. Because the best teacher is experience, if I gotta say. You can find out from what people say, and you can trust them, because that's the best way besides the antivirus. And the next, we have never opened suspicious apps. Before we talk about the never open a suspicious website, and then we talk about suspicious apps. uh you don't you don't you are please don't download everything in the internet. Like, you don't know them, you download them. No, don't do that. You should know what your files, you should know what you will download. You should know you should know how the file you will download, and then then you download it. Don't just what's this, I expected mp4, but I got .exe. I'll just download it. Maybe this file will install on my computer, and then it will give me mp4. um so because when these apps infect your C file, this app infect your C drive, infects your Windows, when your system file, and it's so bad. We're not sure, because when these apps infect your computer, the next thing to do is to scan it with antivirus. The next we have always use up-to-date applications, and applications I mean here it includes so many things like uh, it includes a browser, operating system, etc., etc. Like you should update them because we know that viruses are made by malwares and viruses are made by humans, right? And humans keep evolving day by day. They keep figuring out how to breach security, and when the security upgrade, they keep figuring out how to breach the security. So keep using up to date in application, because even though you are using up to date application, it doesn't even you are using up to date application, it doesn't guarantee, because uh, the scenario is like this. Virus updates, security updates. So the security can be said is one step below, one step before than the application. So always keep using up-to-date application guys and stay aware in the internet. I guess that's all. Thank you. So the conclusion is I can say always use up-to-date application. Do not open suspicious websites. Do not open suspicious apps. Stay aware in the internet and keep having a scheduled scan from your antivirus. The next I'll give to the moderator. Moderator, the push yours.
Okay, wow, that's very good explanation from you, Rizky, because you are already give us explanation about what is malware exactly, and even you are give us advice about how to prevent it and how to solve it, and you are also give us tell us about how to handle it, and also even you tell us a story about history of malware itself, ladies and gentlemen, right? So you can why that stop your side screen, Rizky, maybe your side screen. Maybe you can stop it.
Okay.
Okay. Or you still or you can still open your why that PPT. Okay, guys. I think all of you guys in here as maybe very it is very interesting topic, right? And I think all of you guys here I think you have a question. Maybe if you have a question, you just can raise your hand, and after that you can unmute yourself, or maybe you can ask a Risky through the chat. We will waiting for you guys. Okay, okay, the first is maybe go to Andrea Prima first, maybe. And Faiza, you can write your question through the chat. Okay, Andrea Prima, you can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I apologize if I'm late. And my question is for Rizky, for our presenter today. Do you have any experience with this kind of thing, with this malware? Is it either is it malware, virus, or any of those things? Do you have any experience with it, and how do you deal with it based on your experience? Thank you.
Wow, that's good question from you, Andrea. So, actually, Andreas, having question like, do you are Risky have uh is Risky have a experience about how to handle malware on Risky experience? So you can give the answer, Risky.
Okay, thank you, Rio, for the question, and Andrea. Andrea, you're talking about my personal experience, right? If you're talking about my personal experience, yes, I do. Once my laptop, that's when I try to download some certain games, and then it's my browser. All of a sudden, I feel like I come into the suspicious website, but I didn't realize it because I was so interested in the game. So that's why I do anything else to download the game. So what I did was and at that time when I accessed the website, and then all of a sudden my browser is getting like strange, like it it becomes Latin. You know Latin, right? I use English language, but all of a sudden the options, the writing, the word, it becomes Latin. And how, and of course I was confused. I'm using English, but why there are Latin there? Like there are some kind of alphabet or letter that I don't even understand myself. So that's when I start to the uninstalling my browser. I'm using Opera that time. I uninstalled my browser and then I install it again. So I prevent the virus from spreading any further. So that's why how I handle it. And then once again I have experience. That's when I don't know this virus is, but every time you open a full screen file, and then it all of a sudden it becomes closed focus, and then it goes to the desktop. And how do I handle that? How do I deal with that? I scanned my antivirus. I do a full scan to my computer, so until I left it overnight, and then I left it, so I sleep, and then in the morning, when the scan is done, I delete the virus, and then uh, I stop I stop having that experience. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Rizky, for sharing your experience. And maybe, guys, the answering from Rizky, it can give you inspiration, not just for Andrea, maybe, but all of you guys in here, maybe you can get the inspiration to handle malware when you get it, when you get the same problem with Rizky, right? So, thank you, Rizky, for the answer. And goes to the next question from Faiza. Risky. What should I do if my computer got runs somewhere and all of the files type are renamed into something, so my computer cannot open the files. So how do I restore the files?
Okay, so thank you for the question, Faiza. You are asking about how do you restore the file from the infected ransomware virus, or we can say from the encrypted file. It's you say that it's renamed, right? But it's infected here. I mean, it's encrypted. You'll have to do some certain passwords. You'll have to use some certain password, and you cannot just rename it as it used to be. No, you cannot. It's encrypted by the author itself, and so you cannot just rename it. And if you want to restore them, well, I myself am not sure how to restore them, because most of the ransomware cases in this world are usually they just patent the author, and about the code about how to restore them. Maybe it's ransomware virus. It's a ransomware virus has their own way to recover the file, and I haven't known yet one of them. So if you ask about how do you restore the file, the only way to do now is just to pay to the author, because if I restore the file base some means, I'm not sure because I don't know myself. And yeah, the best thing to do is just to prevent. As I said before, the preventing is better than curing. The best thing to do is just to not download any file in the internet and something like that.
Wow, thank you for your answering, Risky. So is it clear, Faiza? Oh, thank you, Risky. Oh, Faiza just wondering because her friends and had her computer infected by the virus. Oh, so it is basically from Faiza's friend's experience, right? So that's why Faiza tried to ask the answer to Risky. So is it clear, Faiza? I think it's clear. Okay, it's clear. Okay. So guys, is there anyone who in here have a question? You can just raise your hand, and after that you can unmute yourself, or maybe you can ask Rizky through the chat like Pfizer do. We will wait, guys. I think there's no question again, right? So can I close? So maybe I can close this session, this question and answer session right now, and goes to my summary for this meeting, guys. So basically, Rizky already tried to give us explain very clear explanation about malware, because I think malware is right now is very dangerous, because yeah, it is the 21st century, and everything in our society, in our life, is controlled by our device, right, by our computer. So it is basically, this topic is very needed right now, because we need to know, we need to learn, and we need to we need to learn about how to deal with it and how to solve this problem. And also, like the first question from Andrea give a question to Rizky, like ever Rizky have experience about this malware, and Rizky said yes, and he also give answer to us about how to handle with it. And also Faiza give us a question from her friend's experience, like how if her computer is got a ransomware, and how to restore it. And Rizky also give us answer, and also give Faiza advice how to deal with how to restore it, and how to deal with ransomware. I think that's all the summary, guys, and I think that's all from me. And now come back to Sinta. Time is yours, Sinta.
Thank you. I can't believe you're already at the end of this webinar today. I would like to thank you for the presenter for giving us a very important information. Of course, as we are facing the technologies and everything are pure now. And I would like to thank to the Kario to be the moderator for today, and also thank you for the participant who are um, participating today. I think yeah, it's time to close this session, guys. Thank you very much. Don't forget to fill the link attendance on the chat.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Yay.
Maaf guys, telat guys.